so excited for the craft show. So today we all got to sleep in, but I woke up very early because I was super excited and couldn't go back to sleep.
We are here at the market. All of the vendors are just getting situated at their tables. The place looks so festive. Everyone is in such a good mood. It's everyone's kind of favorite day. All the vendors are just kind of shopping from each other. We already had quite a few people come over to our table, which is always fun to say good morning to everyone. But everyone is getting all ready for our big day.
Hold up, I am on my way. I'm in motion. Let's go to the ocean. Let's go outside. We can hang out on the beach without freezing. Yeah, isn't that amazing? In Christmas times, we'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows in the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart. And I can promise Santa's coming to visit. No, he wouldn't miss this in Christmas times. Oh, and the sunset, it is just getting better on a blanket with the skyline painted in blue. Ooh, yeah, that's what we do. We'll be chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows in the rain is pouring. It will always be.
It was now just before 10 and the market got started. The boys and I were immediately packed. We were overwhelmed with how many people came in the door literally minutes before the market was even open. And by 10:15, we had sold already almost half of what we had taken to prepare for the market.
And as the light startled our eyes, we let go of disguise. And now there's something in the air and a sparkly shimmer on our skin, restoring everything within.
It's super busy here at the market.
Easy, easy on our tiptoes, undercover agents of the other, beyond gravel, beyond all.
Chase and Dayton's favorite job of the market was putting all of the items in the bags for our shoppers. They also loved rearranging the table to make sure that it looked perfect for everyone who came by to view our work. So it's almost 11 o'clock. The market is still really packed. I think we have about 1/3 of our inventory left, so things are going really well. So the show is just about wrapping up. We have about a half an hour left. I think we have like very, very little inventory, maybe about $100 worth of inventory left, which is amazing because we made so many duplicates this year compared to last year. I'm glad that we did that because taking that extra time meant that our sales for today are definitely increased from last year. I think double what we did last year. But before the show opened, I went around to be able to support some of the other artisans that are here at the market and check out everyone's wares for the show. Everyone has the most beautiful things, but I did pick up a couple things that I want to show you. So I picked up this Nova Scotia postcard here. It's an actual art print from a local artist here. I picked up this one. I plan to give this one in a little gift that we're putting together that we need to put in the mail. And I wanted to support this lady that was making some of her own handmade items, and I always like to wear the ear covers, especially with the high winds here in Nova Scotia. So I bought this little winter hairband, which I think will match my beige colored jacket that I have. And then, as you know, we are getting horses, and I saw this beautiful hand-painted ornament that I thought would be lovely to add to our tree this year, and it's done on a large tree cookie. They were $10, and I just couldn't not get it. I also wanted to support the artist that was doing it. And I bought another postcard that I thought I would put in a little frame that I've already picked up, a little vintage frame of this beautiful heron. You know, we get herons in our brook, so I thought this was so cute. I just thought it was our sort of Canadiana vibe, and I loved the art that went behind it. Our event today went fantastic. The kids had a blast. It was so fun to hear them throughout the show be like, this is the most fun ever. They loved putting things in the bags and talking to everyone that came to the event and all of the hard work that they had put into preparing. They really got to see the outcome of everything, how it all came into reality, and they got to work the whole day of the show. They had so much fun, and so did I. Such nice memories to make together doing this tradition of our annual craft show that we do. And we're definitely going to go back again next year and do it again. All of our designs were so well received. If you came to the show and you came out to visit us, thank you so much. It warmed our hearts. We went home with our cheeks hurting. We were smiling so much throughout the day. And we had so many of our YouTube family members come out to say hello. We met some really special people, and overall, it was just absolutely the most amazing day ever. More than we could have ever hoped it was going to be. Planning the show for a couple weeks before not only was a great way to make memories and spend time with my boys, but it was something that we could really put together and have a goal on what we wanted to do for the market. Having all of our items made out of natural and upcycled materials means that all of the designs that we take are so unique. And there's really nothing else at the events that we go to that are like what we've created, because the materials aren't easy really to come by, and it made it so that everything that we took kind of had its own purpose and plan. We love to be able to do that eco lifestyle type idea, and I think that the items that we had on our table really stood for themselves. They really reflected the goal that we wanted to have for our table. We wanted it to be just like our family, bright and cheery. We wanted the ideas to be super unique, and then we wanted to be able to keep everything to our own custom design so that they were as unique as they looked on the table. And then we wanted to also keep our price points at a very affordable rate so that pretty much anyone that came through would be able to afford to grab something off of our table. There was a few things that we noticed when we were at the event that really were like, oh my gosh, we have to get these. And that was anything that had to do with the coastal life. Of course, you know, we live in Nova Scotia, Canada. And so anything that was East Coast vibe, nautical in any way, was the first things to go. We were sold out of our tugboats and our whales and our lobsters and our puffins, and anything to do with that was gone first off of the table. We could have only had those types of items. We definitely could have sold more of those had we had even more multiples. We thought we had so many multiples of all of them, and we probably could have sold another whole batch of the same amount that we had already taken. The show started at 10. And I think they must have opened the door about 10 minutes before the actual showtime opened, because we all of a sudden just got bombarded with guests of the show. The market building filled up completely. And by 10:15, we were like, oh, they must have opened it. It just happened all so fast. And then 10:15 rolled around and we had sold already half of everything that we had taken to the market. It was so fast. It was just a blink of an eye. And we looked down at our table. We had already put multiples back out from under the table. And our table looked very bare at 10:15, and we were there till 1. So we really were able to kind of like, we just breathed for a second, saw all the traffic in the show, and then kept going until 1 o'clock. It got pretty busy, I would say, right up until about 12:15, and then that last 45 minutes got really slow. But we really had just a couple, maybe few handfuls of things left on the table. I think maybe about 10 or 11 items at that point. So it was kind of at the, once you get to that time of the day in your show, you're kind of ready to start packing up and heading home. So we always wait until the exact ending time of the show to start packing up out of respect for the host. Even if we were sold out at 10:15, we would have stayed and helped out in the market in some way and greeted people at our table. The host of the show put up so much time and effort into preparing that you don't ever want to leave early. You want to make sure you stay right to the very end, no matter what. And there's a few things that we noticed that definitely are things that we make sure we do at our table that really, I think, really help drive our sales, is that we make sure at our table that we are very approachable. We want to greet everyone that comes to the table, want to explain maybe what our items are made out of, have some type of conversation with everyone, and make sure that we're standing there present when they walk up to the table. The hosts always provide a couple of chairs that you can sit behind. And we notice, when you go to different craft shows, even as a shopper, or if you're in the event, that oftentimes you'll see that the artisans that are there are sitting down, maybe playing on their phone. They're not greeting people when they come up to the table. So that's something that we definitely know helps drive sales. If, your head's down and you're not looking present, people will kind of just wander right past. So we had tons of traffic at our table. We had 3 of our smiling faces at the table. And I definitely think that helps. Having a really clear, very simple way that our items were priced, we decided to go with all of our ornaments were a set amount of money, and then we just had one other item that was a different amount. So rather than having a whole bunch of different priced items, it made it really easy for people to see how much they were going to spend. If they knew they wanted to spend $20, they could be like, okay, we can pick up, say, 3 or 4 items, however much the items were. Having something on your table that's like each thing is sort of a different price, even if your prices are clearly made, it makes it a little more confusing for people. So in their heads, they're already thinking of like, who do we need to buy for? What did we already get for them? How much are we going to spend on this person? You kind of eliminate any of the stress of the shopping when you make it really easy for them to grab items. We also learned from last year's show that creating small items in a lower price point was way better for sales than having a few items at a higher price point. So quick grab items that anybody could afford to grab, $5 to $10 items at the very most, meant that we would have so much more traffic than if we had higher priced items. We also knew last year from our sale that our ornaments were what sold first. So we reflected on what we learned from last year, and we stood basically with completely making ornaments this year and just a few decor items. And that was definitely what helped us have such great sales. Again, small items, easy to carry, easy to ship for people if they want to post any of the items that they're buying at the market. So many different little factors really contributed to how many sales that we got. That being said, we spent a total of $24 on supplies to prepare for the show, mostly little eye hooks and just a few little things for glue and a couple opening ornaments. And we spent $10 to participate in the show. We're very lucky that the show here is only $10 to go for the day. So a total of $34. And in 3 hours, we were able to make $960 worth of our ornaments. So I think that is fantastic. It's something that we can now put towards our preparing for our horses, for our barn build. We knew as a family that was something that we wanted to do, all the 4 of us together, was to create as much extra income as we could to be able to put towards our projects. And that's what we did. So we're thrilled with how much we were able to make. I think last year we made just under $700, and we spent about the same amount, about $25 or less, to prepare for the show. So overall, I think using the upcycled natural materials kept the stress of preparing for the show completely off our shoulders, because you're not worrying about how much money you made versus how much you spent to go. Just was all about the creative process, making what we wanted, having fun together, and then however much we sold on Saturday, we would have been happy with. It was just fun for us to go. So making extra revenue was definitely a bonus. If you have any specific questions about the event, or if you're running an event on your own, or you're going to be in an event and you would like to ask anything specific, then let me know. This has now been a yearly thing that we've done, as well as other craft markets that I participated in. So I got pretty much as much experience as possible doing shows at this point, and I can hopefully be able to help you out. Or if there's something specific you're trying to figure out about display or anything craft show related, then feel free to leave me a comment down below. Thank you so much to everyone who's cheered the boys and I on over this past month or so, creating and getting ready for this market. Like I said, it's been a blast. We love doing it, and we're already thinking of our creative ideas that we want to do for next year. That being said, we have now launched our ElysiaEnglish.com site, which we're just kind of toying with the idea of adding more items on there on a regular basis. So you've seen over the past couple of weeks here, we had just a few of the designs from the market on the shop. The response has been overwhelming for the amount of ornaments that our YouTube family has ordered. So thank you so much. Again, all of the proceeds are going towards our barn build to prepare for our horses. And we have decided that we want to do this more on a regular basis, creating Christmas ornaments and even just seasonal decor items. We have so much fun creating together, and we're going to continue to do this. So we also launched this week on our channel that we're doing a barn fundraiser with our Hudson and London ornaments. They're also on the site, And anything that we had remaining from the craft show is now live on the site. Super limited numbers. I'm sorry. Next Christmas, we will have things a lot more ahead of time. I plan on doing a huge launch for Christmas next year that's completely online. But this year, we were just dabbling with the new site, making sure everything worked great. And you guys just blew it out of the water. So thank you so much for that. I'll put all the information to the site and any information that you need in regards to ordering anything in the description box down below. But we want to thank you, as usual, for supporting our family. And I hope you enjoyed the market. If you watch the tour, you can see some really creative ideas on things you might want to try on your own. Let me know what your favorite thing was that you saw in the video.